Okay, and I believe we are live. Let's see. Awesome. Yeah, and the stream connection's really good. Man, my voice just went right through that time. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Welcome to VKH Live, everybody. Round two, part 2 of 2 of our Monday doubleheader special spectacular. I'm your host, Jeff DeWitt. We just did a quick stream for Oblivion Dust. Definitely recommend you guys check that out. Check that band out if you haven't already. This is the second stream that we're doing. That is a Patreon request by our good, amazing Patreon supporter Kimiko. She is supporting us at a level on Patreon that allows her to be a VKH shot caller, where she calls the shots for us in terms of certain artists that she requests that we cover. So that's a thing you can do on here if you want to support us on Patreon. It's a bit of a higher tier for those of you that are like hardcore fans. You want to make your voice heard, that you support those of us covering the industry, and you also have strong opinions on bands that you'd like us to cover and give us a shot. So far it's working out swimmingly. Got all kinds of great recommendations so far. But there's all kinds of other tiers as well, cool bonus stuff. Link is in the description. As always, you can just donate via Super Chat. Another link in the description, and that also helps support us. We'll read your message on air. And then, of course, just watching the entire video also helps us as well. We do this, we're never going to hide stuff behind a paywall. Financial support is appreciated, but not mandatory to enjoy VKH content. So, if you're new here and you like this video, hit a like, share it with your friends, see what they think, hit subscribe, join our Discord. We have a whole community that we're building, connecting all these J-Rock and Visual K fans. There's a lot of you guys out there. It's just social media kind of sucks right now, and it's been kind of hard to connect everybody, but I think we found a way, and we've got a cool community growing there. So and of course, this is put on by VKH Press. Our main website is vkh-press.com. So this stream is going to be covering another artist that Kimiko requested, and that was KHRYST. I'm going to assume that the plus is silent here, as I've now heard the pronunciation in the promo videos. They were originally Christ, just the word, and no plus, no cross, and they've added that in. This is a pretty hot topic band. I put these streams out, announcements out, fairly last minute. We just wanted to record some quick ones, make sure it fit my schedule and Kimiko's schedule, so we could both be here live for this. But like, it's already getting like a lot of reactions on Facebook and stuff like that. So welcome, those of you that found us through that. We hear you, and I will continue to cover these guys. But it's pretty obvious why. It is featuring former members of 2 defunct bands that I believe were both quite popular, Screw and Nihilism. I'm not especially familiar with Nihilism. Well, there's the philosophy, which I'm fairly familiar with, depending on my mood, but the band itself was not a band I ever got into. However, I was very familiar with Screw. Those of you that have been watching or listening for a while probably know I had a bit of a love-hate relationship with Screw. It'll be relevant as we go into the sound of KHRYST. Oh man, and the Christian imagery is just like popping into my head as I say this band's name too. We'll get into that as well. but it's a bit long story short, I was really into Screw's indie stuff. I liked the edginess of it. I liked the dirtiness of it, the urgency in the music, the dark undertones. In general, I liked stuff like Gather Roses and Venom. Was it not Venom, excuse me, Gather Roses and Vanquish, and Vegas. And then as they became more and more mainstream and then eventually had, their major debut, I really lost interest and kind of, they kind of fell out of favor with me as they kind of got more and more, it seemed like they were being pressured more and more into like kind of like a Nightmare or Gazette kind of format. There was still some stuff from like, newer and late Screw that I was into before they disbanded, but it didn't have anything on their indie music. That's just my take personally, but I know a lot of people really did enjoy what they were doing because, even though they did go more mainstream, they were pulling it off pretty well, I would admit. It's just I already had other bands, for that I listened to, and, I just wasn't willing to, part with the old Screw sound and be happy about it. But c'est la vie. This is how things go in Visual K. Artists change and artists grow. I'm getting a hardware error. I hope I'm still coming through okay. Let me just check the stream real quick. Let's see. Yep. Okay. Cool. All right. I had a little pop-up thing show up for a second. That's okay. We're all good here. Okay. Yeah. So KHRYST. So let's get into it. By the way, this artist profile is linked in the description if you want to read into it more yourself. So basically, long story short, KHRYST is very new. They didn't reveal their full lineup until the middle of the summer. The vocalist is Bio, ex-vocalist of Screw. Also, the drummer is Jin, who was the drummer of Screw. And then the guitarist is ex-Nihilism guitarist Machina. Machina now goes by Quina, I believe is how you would say that. And then ex-Nihilism bassist Hayato, who is now called Iru. I will go with Iru. They've already put out their debut mini album, which was called Basalt. It came out on November 1st. It's a 6-track mini album. They were calling it their 0th mini album. It was unfortunately live limited for their debut one-man live, which, by the way, that's pretty serious business. They started with a one-man live, so they must know they have some hype. Ex-Screw members, I can speak to that part at least, definitely, gonna drum up some hype there. So they had the KHRYST Live number 000000 at Tsutaya O West. Let's see. Fortunately, there is a PV out and a teaser for the mini album, so you can at least get an idea of the PV and the mini album as a whole, how they sound. Here's the PV. I will re-embed. It looks like the embed for the mini album preview didn't take, so I will go ahead and edit that after this stream is over. But so yeah, definitely check those out. The PV is for the track titled Rasen Kaidan. And we will talk about how that sounds along with, how the rest of the mini album sounds as well. But yeah, so we can go into the look real quick. Here's the vocalist Bio. Here's the guitarist Quina. Here is the bassist Iru. And here's the drummer Jin. So Jin, Iru, Quina, Bio, and all of them. KHRYST. welcome to Christ. So yeah, that's in terms of the background, that's about all there is for the background right now. But we can get into this this PV a little bit. That's going to be the most solid, I think, view on what they're up to. As you can see, this is very much, they're using a lot of Christian imagery, as the name goes. Big cross in the background. There's some, Jesus imagery on the crucifix. The PV itself is filtered down so that, the red is standing out. It's a really interesting aesthetic. It's a good look. It's a good starting point, I would say. Overall, like both in style and sound, this was I would say this is a rather solid starting point. In terms of the sound itself, I'm pretty happy with the sound. It's the nice thing about the newer Screw is that, the late Screw is that they had really nice polish, really nice production value, really nice production polish on their songs. So they retained that for KHRYST. That sort of a tradition from Screw, but then at the same time, I'm seeing like edgier, more indie vibes that I would associate with the band, like what I assume Nihilism was like, but definitely what I know, indie Screw was like. There's an urgency in the verses as they're sung. There's a certain level of like this elegant, ferociousness, to the song. It's very enjoyable. So it's a nice mix of old and new. So I actually think that's a really great way for them to start. So definitely, like, I think it's like a really solid start in terms of just this song alone. Listening to the other songs on the mini album, I don't have access to it, like the full mini album. I wasn't able to get access to it in time for this stream. We do have this Basalt teaser here. I will say so we can hear a little bit of it here. I will say the majority of the tracks, they all seem to kind of flow in the same general vein as the PV track. Ring the Changes was very much a Screw kind of Ring the Changes, excuse me, was very much like a Screw style instrumental, I would say. Kind of remixed, guitar riffs, that sort of a thing. The other tracks on here, Freaking Out kind of seemed like, a bit of a banger, a crowd pleaser. Some of these other tracks, there was a fair amount of diversity. That was another plus side of, Screw kind of getting the major band treatment was, that's a nice look right there. They were really able to cover a lot more different sounds that you would expect out of a more, I guess, mainstream Visual K band, like a neo Visual K band. A lot of different song structures. But what I like about this is that it does kind of have its own general style and sound. That kind of it's generally the same theme consistently throughout. And so while that does kind of make all the tracks kind of run together to a certain degree, it's more like it flows as opposed to just like, just kind of blending all together and just kind of like just getting like, what does that sound? Sorry guys, I'm out of town at the moment. I heard like a cartoon like meow, like something was falling. That's weird. Some kind of weird siren over here in this city where I'm in at the moment, but yeah, like I think it's a great first step for the sound. I would attribute the mini album flowing together nicely from what I'm hearing from the previews. I would kind of attribute that to the nice production value that's been carried over. In terms of Razan Kaidan, or Kaidan, the song itself, I would say it's it's a nice first step. It's not completely like a safe bet, like a safe take. It's got like a certain indie edge to it, and I like that. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think this is a good reboot. So I'm looking forward to seeing some more music, seeing some more, some wider distribution so we can all get our hands on it. I think this would be a really good band to do a listening party stream for. For those of you that are new, we definitely do these listening party streams where we do sync up, and we all get, if an album's been made available widely, like on streaming services, we'll all download it and listen to it together on the stream. I'll react live on stream. I'll pull the chat up so the chat can react. I think whatever KHRYST's first official release is going to be, that's like widely distributed. If they can get it up somewhere, for streaming services, I think that would be, I think our viewers would agree that would be like a really nice one to, react to, do like a live stream react to. But yeah, that's really about it for KHRYST at the moment. Just a lot to talk about. I mean, not a lot to talk about, but like what there is to talk about, it's like, if you were a fan of either of these bands, I'm sure this is definitely going to be something you're going to want to talk about, more, over and over. And it's the kind of thing that, is worth getting excited over. I've seen, people in our Discord, pretty excited about it. By the way, do join our VKH Discord. We're connecting fans with, like-minded fans with each other, from across the world. There is a KHRYST channel, in our Discord. It is for KHRYST the band. It's just to clarify, not the deity. So you can go in there and talk about and speculate what you think like the upcoming releases are going to be. Talk about what you think what you think of the music that you've heard so far from them, and let me know in the comments as well. If you're viewing this at a later date, definitely, I wish there was more out. I'm looking forward to there being more out. I mean, they got this out pretty quickly, and it's a good first effort, or pre-first effort, zeroth effort, as they say. I'm overall, I was cautiously optimistic going into like checking this band out, and I'm glad I did. So thank you, Kimiko, for the suggestion. I'm definitely, I'm optimistic now, like just regular optimistic. So, I think these, I think a band like this that kind of has a screw-ish, resemblance, I think it does best at an indie level. And in 2018, you can kind of have those like production values as an indie band that Screw had as a major band, a few years back, starting from a few years back. So kind of looking forward to seeing like, where they take that from here. My only concern would be that they just get like very generic with like the kind of music they put out. But I think the edgier, more like religious themes and imagery and stuff, that's kind of leading me to believe that it's kind of going to be a priority for them to be a little bit more edgy, a little bit more, kind of a little bit more, I don't even want to say disturbing, but like disruptive than like your average neo-visual K band. So I think that's a really good sign. So I'm seeing a lot of good signs. I'm excited about this. If you'd like the full information, once again, the article is linked here. You can check out our main website, which, this article is on. It's vkh-press.com. Let's see. Anyone in the chat? Hello, Kimiko. Hello, Genevieve. Thank you guys for coming out. Hello, those of you lurking and watching. I see. There's more viewers, but shout out to the lurkers in the chat. We appreciate your views as well. But it seems like we're in agreement here, Kimiko and I. So excellent stuff. Plenty of things coming out of Visual K that are just making me very optimistic, and this is just another one to add to the list. So this is how it goes. I know it was a rough year, the year Screw disbanded. It was a lot of other bands disbanding as well. But I like the attitude that they are taking with this new music. You know, seeing some old Screw, seeing some new Screw, kind of getting like some Born vibes too from like the attitude of some of like the non-PV tracks from what I heard. It wouldn't like directly be like, oh, this sounds like Born, but it's like they had that nice same kind of, Born was getting to that level of like this nice, like clean production value, but still keeping like this kind of, you know, this punk attitude at the same time. So really going to be fun seeing how, you know, what they do with it now that they're taking that whole crisp, clean punk hard rock show on the road, so to speak, you know, as a, you know, as a bit more of an indie project now, for the time being at least. So we will see what happens. Okay. Hey, and Kimiko heard the odd whistling as well. Yeah, I just gotta make sure the sky's not falling when I end this stream here. But yeah, so that's what's going on here, guys. So yeah, KHRYST, check him out. If you like this video, give it a like, show some love, hit subscribe, and you'll get more notifications about when we go live. We have a we're going to be having the vocalist and guitarist from KHRYST coming on this Thursday at 8:30 p.m. EST, and so that's going to be a cool stream you're going to want to tune in for. We're going to have a Facebook event for it. This Saturday's stream is going to be, we're going to be having the fans rank the Duran Gray albums from their favorite to their least favorite and see what the fandom says. So you can keep an eye out for, you know, a survey for that coming out really soon, and Facebook events for those two streams as well. So, with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I will see some of you that are donating at the VKH Ballers or above patron tier very shortly at 8:30 for our you know, our patron stream. I'm gonna be playing some more Yakuza 0, so I gotta go refresh my memory on the story for that, and I will see you guys soon. See everybody else Thursday. Have a great week, and yeah, peace out.